Russ, I think there's probably two ways of looking at 13th place, where you finished in League One. Probably offered it at the start of the season, you'd have been quite happy with it. But if you'd have been offered 13th place on Sunday morning, you're probably a little bit disappointed by it.
Yeah, I haven't really got a feeling about it. I guess I'm not really attaching too much to it. I think when you put it into the whole context of everything, I think when we lost a couple of players in the transfer window before the season started, I think a lot of people thought we were pretty much doomed, and it would be a real battle and a real fight this season. Obviously, it started off a little bit that way. All our performances I thought were excellent. It was getting tough league position wise, but I said to you then I didn't pay too much attention to that, and I said to you now I'm not doing the same until we're in a position where I really have to look at it and we are fighting to compete closer to the top end of it. Then for me, it's whether we finish 10th or 13th, it looks nice and it looks better. Of course, it looks better for me. It looks better for the club. So yeah, I'm disappointed with how the final day went, of course, but I think I have to look at everything and not just the league position. And for me, how far we've come this season as a group, how much we've learned, what we've evolved, improved, how we've evolved, and what we've evolved into in terms of the way the guys, as I said, behave, train, play, is brilliant. So yeah, it gives me a lot of confidence and a lot of excitement looking ahead, and it's up to us to make sure we improve on that league position and everything else I just spoke about again next year.
There have been plenty of highs and lows over the course of the last 12 months. What have been the peaks and troughs for you, in your opinion?
I think the highs are seeing a group of mainly young men start to really grow and develop as people and as players and together as well as a group, a team. Seeing the older guys add so much value, put their egos to one side and just add so much value to what we're doing to try and help the young players, to try and help us as a group of staff. And the highs have just been sharing all of those moments with my colleagues, and watching with my colleagues at these people who go out there and perform and how much they've grown. Really, I think we sat there on a training session recently, or stood down the side of a pitch recently, and just in awe of the guys and how they were training, because we know how it started and how much hard work it's taken to get to that point. And it's like, okay, yeah, they understand now. They understand what training hard looks like, what being really professional looks like. And hopefully whatever happens for these guys, the younger ones, over the next 10 years, they will always look back at their time with us and at MK as a time when it really instilled some good values into them and showed them the way to behave and perform, and to act, to be able to perform properly. So I think the highs are the people I'm working with and what the experiences we're sharing. The lows, of course, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of highs, but I'm not, as I said, I don't get too emotional about results, but the lows are, tough ones to take when you go to Plymouth and you don't play very well and you lack a little bit of intensity like that. They're frustrating days. And I think in terms of lows, there's not been too many because of the people we have around, but there's days that have been really disappointing. Shrewsbury away, Plymouth away. But at home when we had fans, we were really disappointed for 45 minutes. So those sort of things. But over the course of a season, I think the positives far outweigh the negatives.
I suppose everybody's going to remember this season not so much for the way it's progressed, but I suppose Corona and everything that's come along with it, and this will always be the season that was locked out.
Yeah, I hope we never experience a season like it again. It's been the strangest year, 18 months, I think, not just for football, but for people in general. We're really grateful we've been able to carry on this time. Last time, obviously, we got called off and shut down early, but really grateful we've been able to carry on this season. A lot of hard work. I spoke about it along for us personally as a club to go all of the season without COVID affecting us at all. Really, it's testament to Andy Cullen and Simon Crampton, the amount of hard work they put in to all of the protocols, the amount of dialogue they've had. Simon's year has been spent doing that, really. Been really tough for him to focus on anything else. Obviously done a brilliant job on the medical side of things, but he's had so much to do with that. So been really tough, really strange for so many of our players as well. Their partners have been down here, not been able to go home. They've not been able to get home at all. They're all guys living away from, pretty much all of them living away from where they are from, where their families are based. And during the season, they can go and see their family can come watch them. That's not been the case this season. Also, the young guys, they can go and have a release, they can go out with their friends, they go for a meal with their partners or whatever, with each other. They've not been able to do any of that this year. And that's really tough. That's really tough. You know, we're human beings, you need release, you need connection, you need interaction with people, we're all social beings. Whether you're introvert, extrovert, we all like connection, we all like feeling comfortable with our friends, and none of that's been able to happen. So it's been a really strange year, a really tough year. And that's why also I feel next year is going to be really exciting for us. When we have supporters back, these guys can have their support networks around them at the games, seeing them more often. They can spend more time together outside of football, because the togetherness they've harnessed in this year has been fantastic and brilliant to watch. So it makes me really excited and really positive, and really looking forward to next season.
We've mentioned plenty of times the positive impact that supporters in stadiums is going to have, particularly at home for your side. But I think it's going to make a massive impression away from home as well, the way that you like to control possession of the ball. There's not going to be a lot of home fans watching the away side dominate as much as your side do. And that's, you know, that could really play into your hands at some grounds.
Yeah, we saw it at Charlton, and I think their manager at the time, Bowie, was pretty vocal after about their support that night, and that was probably, I think, the only game they had them in. But it's because we played so well. It's because we didn't let them have much of the ball, and they got very frustrated. So yeah, I think it's going to be a different challenge for a lot of the guys, because, you know, Andrew Fisher has not done it in front of fans. Warren, the same. There's been a few guys, you know, who have lived it. Max Sono's had a season to really develop and grow, because it's helped some of them not having any supporters, in terms they can make mistakes and not feel that added pressure. But I think all of them would say that they'd rather have fans in. There's no doubt about it. And I think you're right. I'm hoping that we can really use it to our advantage next season at home, especially with our supporters behind us, but also away. If we can go there with the way we want to play and do what we want to do. But that is going to be another challenge for the guys, to make sure they're able to do that, what they've been able to do this season, and try and be better, and to do it with the added noise and pressure, if you call it that. I'm not sure it is, but if you see it as pressure of having fans behind you and saying some unpleasant things, etc. So yeah, it'll be another challenge for the guys. But I think the mentality of the people we have at the club now, and it's part of the reason they're there, and we recruit them, is we have guys who can deal with that no problem.
Might it help then that you've obviously gone through this massive transitional period of teaching your players almost a new way how to play football, but they've done that behind closed doors without that extra pressure, and now you can just add something else in now that they've already learnt what they've got to do?
Yeah, I hope so. I feel like we've learned so much. The players have learned so much. The players really believe in what they are doing, and also I think they're starting to find their own solutions now, which is brilliant. I think they look to the staff, to the dugout quite a lot to find solutions previously, because we have a group of young guys. Dino is obviously an exception to that, because he's lived so many games and experienced so many things. But yeah, I think they're in a really good place. And now they have to embrace the challenge of having people there, and embrace that and see it as a real opportunity to help them rather than any threat at all, because it's not a threat. And how they approach that will dictate how it goes. But I just think they'll grow even further. I really do. I think they'll thrive off it. I think they'll be desperate to show people in the stadium how good they can be individually and as a team. And I hope that's what we get, because if we do, you know, I've really enjoyed watching our team for the majority of the season, and I hope the fans will feel the same when they're back in.
I think something else that might help your side, obviously, is that you're going to have a full pre-season campaign, but also the fact that you aren't teaching them this way how to play. You're only going to be teaching the new lads who come in of what you come to expect, and that's going to be a far more easy transition for you guys, you know, on the sidelines.
Yeah, I hope so. I think they'll have the new guys coming in will have a group of players here who have been made mistakes they're going to make. They've been through the process, and they will help each other. There's no doubt about it. I think it's down to us to condition the new players as quickly as possible, physically and mentally, to how we're going to do things, how we're going to play. Which is why we're so keen to get as much work done as early as possible, because this year we had too many guys who couldn't play until 5, 6, 7 games in, and it hurt us early on. But yeah, I think you're right. I think our guys coming in, knowing what we want, we can pick up where we left off really, which is brilliant. And the other guys just have to go with it and learn quickly. We might have to spend extra time in video room and on the training pitch with those people. But we haven't got to do 2 weeks of training individually or then in small groups and all that stuff. We can really get into the detail from day one. And obviously we'll manage them physically, but they'll all come back in a good place. I'm sure of that, because they're all very good pros. And yeah, we can hopefully hit the ground running and as I said, get into the detail and the conditioning really early on.
You must be confident though, given the players that you picked up in January and how quickly they hit the ground running, that you can do the same in the summer.
Yeah, it's really tough. First and foremost, identifying players to play the way we want to play, because not many people at the levels we're looking to recruit from do it. So it is difficult. You're looking for that. That's why it takes probably a bit longer for us to find the one we're looking for, or the one or two that we would really be happy with. That's why Harry took, a lot of work from Liam and a lot of watching and looking at to make sure we got that one right. But you're looking for those few moments in a game where you think, okay, he can do it. He can do what we want him to. And as he got the basics we need, yes, same with Zach and people like that. So yeah, we're really confident the people we've identified will really improve us. And now it's about making sure we crack on and do all we can to get them in as early as possible. And the best thing is the guys that we have identified seem really keen on being here, because they've either played against it and witnessed how it feels, or they've looked from afar or spoken to other players. And hopefully that will be the benefit of doing things this way. Is people talking football, and some people want to be a part of it.
So what's it going to take to progress further up the table next season then?
About 10 million quid, probably. No, Ant's having a panic attack.
I'll get it in my back pocket in that case.
What's it going to take? It's going to take us working very, very hard. Again, there's no doubt about it. It's going to take players who come in with the same mentality and the same attitude as the ones we have currently, to strip away their ego and put the team first, and for them to accept they're going to feel vulnerable and in situations and make mistakes, but they're not ever going to be derided for their mistakes. They're going to be encouraged through that. It's going to take people to come in and respect the process and trust the process and enjoy the journey, and ignore the noise that comes with it. So it's going to take all those things, but fundamentally what it's going to take is a group of people that come together, really buy into the identity, the values of what we're trying to build, and enjoy doing that. And it's up to us to make sure we bring the right people in, because we've worked too hard to get any person wrong. For one person to come in and disrupt that would be crazy. So we have to make sure we do the right research. We have to keep the group of players we have now together, and there may be one or two that we end up losing. I don't know what's going to happen yet, but I don't want to say we're definitely going to keep everyone and then we end up losing one or two, because it makes me look stupid. So we have to face the possibility of that. But what I would say, if they're going, it's because it's right for everyone, as I said last summer. So, but if we do, keeping the majority of the squad and the core group of players together is really important, and then adding a little bit of quality to them will really help us. So yeah, it's going to take all those things, but we're aware of what it's going to take and how we can improve on this season, because we have real clarity, and hopefully we're able to do all that.
Well, I'll have a rummage around, see if I can find 10 million quid for you anyway. Have you set a deadline for the talks that you've had with the players who you'd like to stay, or is it just going to be a case of I'm talking to this guy?
Well, they get an offer and it lasts a certain period of time, and then it's about. Sorry, my wife's just making a cup of tea, I think. And then it's about just staying in constant contact, but not like leaving it until that end of the period. Okay, you didn't sign, so we're moving on. It's about staying in contact, working out what is involved in their decision, whether it's family, whether it's traveling, whether it's moving, whether it's all of that stuff. So we'll be in constant contact with them, but they will have a certain time they have to give us an answer by. But I'm aware of all of their issues or the reason why they're not signing currently, and we'll come to all that. So they're all good guys, all really brilliant people, and people we trust. So they'll be open and honest with us, and we've been open and honest with them, and hopefully we'll keep them, and they can be part of something.
I think the one most Dons fans will be eager to keep hold of the guys who are out of contract is probably Matthew Sorinola. We've obviously spoken about him on several occasions and the issues with the contract. I assume they're exactly the same issues that are keeping him from signing now.
Yeah, I think when I mentioned to you earlier, I think we probably have to, if there is one or two we lose, Matt is out of contract. He's the only one who is in that position in terms of the young guys that we're talking about, and obviously it's rumbled on for a while. So we have to accept that is a possibility that he could leave. He's been offered a really good contract, and listen, I love Matty. Genuinely, I feel such a strong connection with him because I shared at the dressing room as a player. He's a brilliant person, like top human being, and he's he's a brilliant player. It's been a pleasure watching him grow and develop, and I hope he can continue to be a part of this here, because selfishly he's an excellent player. But for him, I think it'd be brilliant for another year of development, year or two to be with us and grow and develop and play more games. But if his desire is, and he has other options to go and play at a high level, or his desire is to go and play elsewhere, then we have to respect that. Again, there'll be a lot of communication between us. There has been up till now, and he's been really honest about it. And whatever he wishes to do, it won't have come easy to him, because he has got other options, and he realises the role that MK Dons has played in his career, the role all his teammates and the current staff have played in his career. And if that's enough to keep him here, then fantastic. If it's not, then it won't be a decision that's made lightly, and it will really be tough for him, and it is tough for him. I know he's going through it at the minute, and I really care for the kid, and just got to be there for him and support him, and whatever decision he makes will be the right one for him. So we'll have to. So I don't want to come out and say anything different on that. I want to be honest with you, and we'll have to wait and see what happens on it. He's got a bit of time now to assess his options. But it doesn't surprise me he does have them, because he's done great. He's done really, really great, and he's improved it a lot. So whatever will happen, hopefully we can keep him. If we don't, it's not going to change the way I feel about Matty, and the way everyone else feels about him as well, because he is top draw.
Player who's already bounced back is Joe Mason. He's got a terrific deal lined up, hasn't he? Moving over to North America. Yeah,
we've been aware of it for a while. With Mace, we allowed him permission to talk to them when we told him he wasn't going to get a contract a while ago. Again, brilliant. I know I say about all the guys, but it's true, because that's why they're here now. But what a guy, Joe! What a footballer! Just a shame we haven't been able to get him on the pitch enough. But he's been important for us. He's a really, really excellent player. I'm sure the guys who you speak to, the players, one of the best technically in the squad, one of the best finishers I've ever seen. And he's just, he's looking for a fresh start and to go and enjoy something different. He's done it before in the MLS out there, and he really enjoyed it. And this is a new challenge. The Canadian Premier League is something that has not been, it's pretty fresh, pretty new, pretty exciting. Spoke to Tommy, the manager out there. I spoke to him as well about Joe, and he seems really happy that it's a really good option for him. So he goes with us saying thank you for everything he's done, and with our best wishes. I'm really glad he's got that sorted and it's all done, and he can now look forward to that. And we wish him all the best. And as I said, he's welcome back here anytime to a game, or to come and have come and see everyone. And everyone is a really popular member of the squad, Joe, and everyone wishes him all the best.
And is everybody going to be a Sunderland fan over the next few weeks to potentially pry Will Grigg away from the Stadium of Light?
I don't know if it makes it any easier if they get promoted. I honestly don't know. I don't know what the situation is. So I'm covering a lot of the playoff games for Sky Sports. So I'm really looking forward to watching them, and going to the final will be fantastic. So I'm looking forward to that. I'll be gutted that we're not a part of that, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It'll be an interesting. I have my view on who will win it, but I'll probably be wrong. So I'm not going to say it out here. I'll write it down for you.
I think last time the players all broke up a year ago, obviously in massively different situation, and everybody was in that sort of weird unknown phase. You obviously sent them all out programs of what they needed to do to keep up their fitness in case all of a sudden the season restarted. But what's the message for the players over the next few weeks before pre-season training gets back underway? Is it just let your hair down and relax?
Yeah, enjoy a break. They've got a program that's been put together by Matty and Tom Bromley, Matt Wilmot, Tom Bromley, Simon, Adzi, who are brilliant. I speak a lot during the season about that department. They are fantastic, really, really good, really thorough. And they've got a program that we've all agreed on that will keep them in really good shape to help them come back on day one of pre-season and hit the ground running. But of course, first that involves a bit of downtime and a bit of a break. And not many of them, I'm not sure any of them will be going on holiday abroad because of what's going on at the moment. But they need some downtime. They need to go and see their families. They need to just spend a couple of weeks, just completely taking themselves away from football and hopefully not thinking about it too much and just chilling out. And then after that, they have a program that builds back up again to get them in a really good place before they come back. And we spoke to all of them and we had some brilliant feedback and some really good stuff that they're going to do over the summer. A few people got really specific targets to hit to come back and give themselves a chance. And then you have guys also recovering from injury, obviously, who are going to be in and out with the medical team and making sure they come back ready and fit and ready to go. So I've got complete trust in the group that no one's going to come back, in shape they shouldn't. And I think Dean Lewington's the only player who ends up losing weight over the summer and putting it on during the season. It's incredible, but it's all muscle, of course, during the season. But I'm really looking forward to it. And it's really strange. Sometimes you come back from an off season and guys have changed incredibly. And it's only 6 or 7 weeks, but the break does them a world of good. They reflect on the past year. They go away and talk to people, and they come back completely different. Stature, the way they approach things. So I'm looking forward to seeing that as well, because I expect that from a few of the younger guys. So they deserve a break. Looking forward to it. I'll miss them all. We'll miss them all. There's no use, apart from Ant there, I can see on the screen because I've seen too much of Ant on these Zooms. But I will. I said it to my wife yesterday. It's great. I'm getting a bit of time at home now. But you feel that something's come to an end, and you end up feeling a little bit flat at the end of a season sometimes. But I'm looking forward to a break. But I'm also, you miss the guys you spend majority of your life with day in, day out. And but we'll fed up with each other, I'm sure. So I'll get over that, and we'll all look forward to seeing each other in a few weeks. Yeah,
well, I'm sure you'll be thankful to have a break from me asking you pointless questions all the time.
You'll be thankful your ears get a bashing from me.
I suppose you mentioned it earlier with the fact that the players can't really hang out with each other outside of the dressing room, and sometimes not even in the dressing room. The restrictions being lifted over the next couple of weeks, that might bring them even closer together because they might even be able to go out and hang out socially for once.
Yeah. I think it's only going to help them. They've not had any time to unwind or just relax together, really. It's all been in the football environment. It's all been down here. It's all been intense. And then they've done it brilliantly. Away trips from the hotel, you see them all sitting together after dinner for a long time, not all just interested in getting up and going straight away to their rooms. I love seeing that, the social interaction that they have, and tells me how far the group has come and how much they actually like being together, how much they actually enjoy spending, because that's not always the case, trust me. Being a player myself is not always the case at all when you're in the dressing room, but they genuinely seem to share a lot of the same values and enjoy a lot of the same things. So yeah, I hope a few of them get together. I'm sure they will. You know, I think there's a little golf school going on that they'll be enjoying, a few of them going together and all that stuff. So yeah, obviously no one wants their manager involved in any of that. So I'll have to let them get on with it. And I'm sure there'll be a few really strong friendships that have been forged, even, you know, made even stronger over the summer.
And just finally, we mentioned all of the players that were leaving in the last couple of interviews, but another big member of your dressing room leaving is your kit man. We obviously celebrated 1,000 games for him earlier in the season, but how much of a hole is he going to leave in the dressing room?
Yeah, Lano, what a character. He's going to be missed. There's no doubt about it. His idiosyncrasies that he has that are we all love him, and his quirks, and he's been great. Yeah, and he's been really, really good. He's really good for the group. He's been really good around the staff. He makes us laugh a lot, sometimes without even realising it. But again, it's a guy who sacrificed a lot and given everything to football for the last 20 years, and has just decided, you know, that's time to spend a bit, because, you know, I think there's this perception in football that you get in, you play around five-a-side a little bit, you head off in the afternoon. But for those that really know the hours that you have to put in, that are spent, you know, him travelling on the road, getting things organised, and he's not just been with the kit and stuff. He's the logistics for us, the hotels, helping us book them, help go the extra mile with certain other bits. So yeah, he's been brilliant. He's been brilliant, Ian, and he will be missed. There's no doubt about it. But as I said, he's another guy who's welcome back at any time. He's offered up a bit of his free time when he's off already to come back and help out the new kit man, Harry, who will start very soon, who's at the opposite end of the scale. He's very young, coming in a bit like Lano did in his first role. So he's offered his help there, which is a sign of his character. But yeah, we wish Lano all the best. You know, I messaged him this morning. He starts his new job today, so he's gone straight into it. So he goes with everyone's best wishes, and I'm sure he'll be back at a few games next season, or I hope he will at least, so we can all catch up.